Zadon Electro Ninja here, and welcome back to Electro Ninja's Lab. Yep, Chapter 83 of My Hero Academia Vigilantes is officially out, and honestly is looking amazing, and I know that you guys are definitely going to be excited to read this when it finally makes its way into the chapter format, or the volume format. Because holy crap, this chapter is honestly amazing and really gets us excited to actually see what exactly is going to be continuing on for this series. The simple fact of the matter is that this chapter basically confirms that there will be more manga long after this, more just more of everything for this series, as there simply is so much that needs to actually be completed. Previously, I thought that the battle may not last that long, maybe a few chapters at most, but in truth, this shows that there is actually going to be quite a bit more. The chapter begins with this awesome picture to actually show that this is the fleeing of koichi from Endeavor. And yeah, it's honestly insane to see how far they've actually come. And Endeavor is honestly terrifying in this. They really want to bring it home that he is pissed off and he is not in a good place. He is clearly yelling these things as he is also just getting more and more pissed off that this kid is messing with everything. He, oh wow. And honestly, Koichi is scared. You can tell that he's scared. And while number 6 is also on his tail, he has to now worry about 3 things. 1, he has to worry about keeping Pop alive. 2, he has to worry about number 6 not catching up to him because he is extremely fast. And on top of that, he also has to worry about Endeavor, who is planning on just burning them alive just to make sure that this person who is an instant villain, not even necessarily an actual villain, someone who is a victim, dies. And he doesn't know that she's a victim. He just thinks, oh, she's causing this trouble. She's clearly a villain. When in actuality, someone had basically mind controlled her to destroy this entire town just so that they could get a few minutes of fame. And nobody knows that. And we get a lot of cool moments to just see that they are really in a rush to save her, to stop this from actually becoming as bad as it's going to be. But then more chaos ensues. Obviously, big explosions, big fireballs, and all this jazz. It's disastrous. And there goes frickin' number 6, being engulfed in the flames as he sees Koichi frickin' flying. And it's honestly amazing. Because we've known for a little while that Koichi can fly. It's hard for him to fly, but he can do it. So, yeah. Um, but yeah, he's flying, and it's shocking to everyone. And it's an honestly amazing moment that I can't wait to see get animated. It's just, and all of the reactions of all of the different heroes and civilians just seeing Koichi launching into the sky is just awesome. And of course, as he's burning up and probably about to die, there goes frickin' number 6 burning in the flames. And then Koichi falls out of the sky. And that's where the chapter ends. And probably that's going to be the point most likely where the volume ends. I'm honestly uncertain exactly when this volume will be ending, but because of the fact that this is probably the most cliffhanger of all of the chapters, it honestly does scare me to know what the heck is going to be happening. And the next chapter is likely going to be the conclusion, or maybe not the next chapter, but soon is going to be the chapter where Koichi is saved. They get the queen bee out of Pop's eyes or eye, and they explain to the cops everything that's going on. Maybe not the explanation and all of that stuff, but I do think that they will be actually saving, and this will be the conclusion. What remains to be seen is a lot. And honestly, this whole manga has really grown so much since its beginnings, since its humble beginnings of just simply being about one kid who wants to do good but can't because of the society that he's in. He can't do anything because of the fact that he's not licensed to be a hero. And we've learned all of these things just throughout the story. And now it's coming to a close for Koichi. Does this mean that it's the end of the series? No, not by a long shot. Like I said, this chapter basically confirms that there will be more, and probably a lot more for a long time to come. Now, you may be thinking, what? No, that can't be possible. It's gonna be quite a while before we actually see the end to this amazing series. And or it's the end now. There's a lot of different people who are looking at this series, looking at it and just being like, huh, this has got to be the end, or this can't be the end. There's so much left to do. And honestly, here's the thing, this is the end of Koichi's story as a vigilante, at least in my opinion. Is this the end of the vigilante's story? No, not by a long shot. In truth, these kids need to have a life. They need to go on to continue their journey. They have more to them. Are they going to continue to just live normal lives, or are they going to be taking up new roles as actual licensed heroes for saving the day and all of that? In truth, I actually think that before long, we are going to be getting a bit of a Hosu incident situation where Endeavor has actually now defeated number 6. It is actually him who defeated the villain. And basically what's going to be going on is that more than likely in the next chapter, a certain someone is going to jump in to save the day. That, of course, being Knuckle Duster, jumping in to save these two kids from actually getting hurt. And as they're working to actually get the bug out of the eye, Knuckle Duster turns around and there is Endeavor, who's looming, wanting to destroy them. And Knuckle Duster takes off his mask and reveals his hero license, revealing himself to Koichi and to the entire world that he has been O'Clock this entire time, and that he has been doing all of this undercover to finally stop a villain who has been causing all of these problems for so long. The instant villains are now done. He has seen everything. O'Clock 2 is, in fact, number 6. The villain behind all of these instant villains, and behind both queen bees. The first one being O'Clock's own daughter, and the second being Popstep, being taken control of by this evil bee monster that wants to destroy them. At which point, they pull out the bee, and it is disgusting. Everyone is just shocked to see this thing come out of her face. Now, at this time, the only people that would probably even be there is Endeavor and Tsukauchi. No one else is even around. Just the Vigilantes crew who have been trying to get the eye out. Maybe there's a few people just around in different buildings who are watching but are shocked to see this whole incident actually happening. But in truth, no one really knows. And Endeavor is shocked to realize that he could have killed someone who was in fact actually a victim rather than a villain. She wasn't going to she didn't want to hurt anyone. She had just been taken advantage of and was being controlled by a monster. A monster who luckily he defeated. But that's about it. Now, to actually keep everything straight away, what they will instead do is that they will say that that medical students were on the scene and realized what was happening and rushed in to actually get the girl out of harm's way. These also happened to be the vigilantes who had been helping out in the area recently. But Endeavor also found out about the actual villain, and in order to stop him, in order to save the girl, he had put an end to this villain. That is what I think is going to actually be the conclusion. And in return for their good work, they will be getting honorary hero licenses. Now, of course, if they want to actually become full-time heroes, they will actually have to go and get their licenses. But with these honorary licenses, they can continue to use their quirks in order to help people, but they still need to... But it's basically to the same extent that the kids in My Hero Academia can do. They can fight, yes, but it's mostly in emergency situations. They still shouldn't be the ones who cause harm. Will they still be able to put an end to a villain if they have to? Yes, but they're not supposed to. They're supposed to simply arrest them. They are basically doing the equivalent of citizens' arrests from now on. And that's it. That is their entire story that they will be able to do. Other than that, they're not heroes. And honestly, I think that will be enough for them. At which point, we will see a nice little moment where they're all relaxing at home. Knuckle Duster's daughter is there, along with everyone who's been helping out with this series for a while. And they're just taking a little break. Maybe a few years. Maybe it's been a little bit of time. And they're just all relaxing, hanging out in their house. And it's now time for them to make some decisions. Who's going to be going where? Are they going to stay and continue to be heroes? Are they going to go and get their licenses? Will Pup actually be allowed to get her license, since she was turned into a villain temporarily? Maybe frickin' Knuckle Duster's daughter will be going off to UA, which honestly would be an interesting situation to actually see her become a student at UA, and then we actually get to see her in the main series later down the line. Because keep in mind, this is actually stuff that's currently happening. Like, well, not currently, it's almost about to happen. There's a lot that goes into this stuff, and at most, we're maybe 3 years away from the actual series beginning. So, yeah. And honestly, that's awesome. That's awesome to think about, that soon we will be going into a new adventure with these characters. These kids are going to become true heroes. Are they going to remain keeping the name Vigilantes? Honestly, I think that they will. The series will probably still focus on them as quote-unquote vigilantes. Will they be licensed? Yes. but they still have a few issues that they have to deal with. And it deals a lot, and honestly, I think it will continue to deal more with the idea of hero work in this world and continuing to do a lot of world development. This series is far from over, plain and simple. They may have defeated one villain, but there's still more to come. I guarantee it. But anyways, guys, I hope that you guys have enjoyed this video, and I hope that you guys will continue to enjoy Vigilantes alongside with me. And honestly, I love this series, and I hope that you guys have been as well. If you have, please leave a like. Leave your thoughts and theories down in the comments below. If you are going to leave a theory, make sure to say theory review in your comment. And of course, if you are new, please subscribe and ring that notification bell. And if you want to support the channel even more, then definitely head down to the description and check out all of our links down there, including our Patreon, which a big thank you to our current Patreon, Sheeny. But anyways, guys, I've been Electro Ninja, and I will see you guys next time. But on!